DL Trader here with today's trade recap, Thursday the 8th of November. Three tickers today, so we're going to get the simple ones out the way first and then talk a little bit deeper into one ticker which I was pretty active on today. Some interesting stuff came out of that one, so we'll start off with the easy ones. Going today, I was focusing in on scalping front side, patience backside, kind of following on from yesterday's success. Just going to put my tweet quickly, check what it was exactly. Yeah, so scalp front side, patience backside, careful with add back on when front side. So what I meant by that was shorting into the rip, it pulls back, you cover partial, and then adding back on the bounce. Just being careful of that because I've been caught out a bit early with those ads, and then so just bit cautious on that one. So let's go straight into it. First ticker was, or at least one ticker was AAOI. Took this rip from $18 up to 21.75. Got short, scalp size, front side size, risking that 22 level. Excuse me, got that instant pullback, covered a quarter, larger pullback, covered another quarter, and then tried to be careful with the ad. So what I didn't want to do is add here, and then pop cover for a loss. So let it do its thing, testing that, let it come up and test that high of day level. Once it curled over, pulled my risk down and then added in. So had this have broken down and faded off for the rest of the day, I would have locked in partial along the way and it would have been a nice green trade. In the end, I had to cut it for the stop out on that one just after the ad, and it turned it into a very just small, so pretty much a flat trade. So overall, I'm happy with the entry, happy with the covers, happy with the ads, happy with the stop out. The only thing I'd say I wasn't good at was position sizing, so just didn't take enough shares. Had I taken enough shares, would have locked in some nice gains on these dips and it would have been a profitable trade. So just that position sizing to work on. The next trade was NK. Similar story really on this one. It's tricky because scalping front side, so I'm shorting into this rip, did get caught slightly early, and then it pulled back. So I'm keen to lock in on this pullback because it might well do this. Now the dilemma with a stock like this is, well, if the front side very quickly becomes the backside, i.e. it just pops and drops, you're covering too many shares and you're not being patient with the winner, so it's very tricky. This one, I think I missed the ad here just because I was trading something else. That was the spot. So, when it fails there, for me, that, here is when to scale in hard for the backside and cover into these washes through the day. So again, small green trade, just because I thought I was caught early and wanted to cover into the dips, reducing the risk, not just doing some stupid stop out at the high of day. I'm getting much better at that. But didn't capture this move here. So work to be done on these front side moves. The whole reason to short front side is to catch the top. If you wait for the backside, the dilemma is, you see it go up, come down, go up, come down. You end up chasing here, and then if it does rip back to test higher days, you lose. So often, if you get the good entry on the front side, it's the most profitable because you get the backside with a really great average, allowing you to add in. So that's my thoughts on why bother shorting front side in the first place. So the next trade, which is the one I wanted to talk a bit more about, was NVLN. So I'm going to have to scroll for this one to show you exactly what went on. So morning rip from 0.5, it's coming up, Now I'm shorting on the front side, adding into, you know, scaling in, playing off that $1 mark. So a little bit early on this one, and then a good add here. I think I got way more size on this one. Then the next thing it does is just rip more. So expecting a pullback to wash, didn't get it. So covered some here to keep my size and risk. Then when it did rip high, I got some more adds on, and then again covered into the wash. So controlling the size, controlling the risk, sort of recycling those shares up. Next thing after this pullback, I missed the washout, covering some more here, it ripped higher. So again, I'm thinking, okay, maybe the top's going to be in, short into the rips, cover into the dips, keep that scalp mode going. As you can see, adding some more higher, covering in the wash. Now the problem now is I'm basically fighting the trend. I'm shorting the pops, covering the dips, but they're getting higher and higher. So I'm sort of locking in these small losses on the way up, you know, and they start to grow. So at some point, you just got to say, no, this is no longer a viable trade. And for me, the correct level to stop out was when it broke that high of day, 1.35. If I got slightly more of a entry into this rip, covered on the pullback, and then gone out flat on the break of a higher day, it would have worked out much better. So kind of fighting the trend, but you know, at least I'm getting good entries and I am covering. If I was not covering into these dips, you know, this would be a total nightmare, you know, a massive loss. So again, goes up higher. Now there's the big pullback, and I did, you know, had a bit more size now, because as it gets higher, it's more likely to pull back, as it hasn't put one in yet. Got some big size off there, managed to pull some back on the trade. It grinds up, did test high of day, potentially the backside now, so covered more into that wash. So now I'm thinking backside, so I added in, and it couldn't break down. And then when I saw this bull flag, I was out. So I covered all on that 1.43 on that green tick there. And I actually flipped to the long side here. You know, at this point, all the shorts are underwater. You know, I was one of them. I could feel the pain. So once it popped through here, I was sure it was going to test the high of day. So got long, added into confirmation, trying to get good longs on the dips, and then scaled out on the way up. Sell, 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 sell. Perhaps a bit too quick with the sells. Got to work on those longs. And then on the pullback, I added some more long, sold into the pops, adding more on the washes. So trying to sort of work the system like I was on the front side, but in the reverse, so correct with the trend. Had left a tiny bit of size on and managed to get all those shares off into that pop there. So really nice long trade, made back pretty much all the losses from this first part here. So at this point, I was flat, and I was looking to get short again into the rip for the parabolic short, looking for the backside. So got a perfect entry on the 2.33 there, nearly top ticked. Instant washout, covered partial, covered some more because I was getting feeling a bit like, okay, I'm thinking this is the backside, but actually, is it still the front side? Is this move just going to go up to $4 or something? So I took some more off. And then I was thinking, well, you know, put in this lower high, so I shorted some more. You know, but at least I'm taking some off lower than I'm adding on, and I'm working the trade. Nothing worse than buying here, selling here, buying here, selling here. So after this confirmation, started to look like lower highs, and looking for the breakdown here. So shorting more. This bounce here did get me pretty scared, but held on through that with risk at high of day. And then after that one, I got a bit more conviction and added more. So I was thinking, you know, what my focus was for the day, you know, scalp front side and a patience backside. So really let this thing, you know, play out. So there was my descending triangle. Not very patient on that wash there. I should have been a bit more patient, but so covering into these washes. The reason I covered so many shares just in this bit is because I've seen this pattern before. These uptrending charts that are holding, pop, they come down, pull back to VWAP, and then they rip into the close. So got the majority of my shares off into that bit, popped up, another pullback, covered some more, and then patient with the rest. Covered that last part here just at the end of the day. So nice trade. It made back all the losses from here and some, so it was red, break even, long was just about as green as my red short was at first, and then the short at the end of the day pulled it back. So, you know, what are my big takeaways from this trade? They are, scalping the front side is all very well, but don't get stubborn. You know, you do have to have a point at the stop out and not just continually try to recycle the shares of short pops, cover dips. Good to switch to the long. I did find out later from a friend that this was easy to borrow. So this on simulator mode, you don't have the ability to see if it's hard to borrow, easy to borrow. If I knew that, I probably would have been a bit more cautious here, because I know how the easy to borrow stocks can rip much harder. So cautious front side, got to work on that. Good long, not patient enough. Good short, not patient enough. But overall, green day, 4 green tickers. You know, happy with progress. Okay, thanks very much.